from Temple Shalom. Okay, if there are 0 people online, then I'm going to do, I'll wait 2 more minutes and we'll start. No, it's any time we have something major coming up within a day or 2, it's like this. Okay, we're going to start on page 3, and we can read this together in the middle where it says, O source. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. We will turn to page 28. And I will open the ark for this. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Okay. I have a question for you. Have you ever learned to read Hebrew, or you're not there yet?
I'm working on it. I can read the transliteration, but not there.
Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll go on page 30 in the middle, and we'll do this in English with the prayer at the end. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Okay. More than one? Okay, well, they're always late. Okay. We're going to do this a cappella. We'll go to Ahavat Olam, but I'll wait for them to get in here. Shabbat Shalom. Just letting you know that when you get seated, we're on page 32. Okay, we're going to do this a cappella. You can join in if you so desire. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu u'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratcha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael. And the next page on 34, we'll recite the Shema. We can stand for this. And we'll do the traditional way. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. The next page. Ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, veshiftecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uveshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al muzizot beitecha, uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem mi eretz mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. We're going to go to page 39, and on page 39, we will read responsively in the middle of the page. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there was one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God. keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. And in the middle of page 40, we again will read responsively. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Goal Yisrael. Let's see. Okay, in the middle of page 43 at the top, we'll read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Okay, we'll turn to page 46. We will rise for the Amidah as soon as I open the ark. I'm sorry, I know it says tefillah in here. I learned to call it the Amidah, which means standing, by the way. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufiyahi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Koneh Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'mi'evi Gula livnei bneihem, Le'man Shemo be'ahava. This is Shabbat Shuvah, so we're going to say, Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chatvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, Lema'ancha Elohim chayim, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia. Morid atah, mechakel chayim v'chesed, mechaye hakol be'rachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, u'matir asurim. Hayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, u'midomela, melech memit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach That was a very subtle distinction that instead of Ha'el HaKadosh, who is the holy God, we say the holy king. Melech means king. We are going to turn to page 55, and at the top of the page, together, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to page 57, and we'll read together at the top in the Hebrew. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael utfilatam ba'ahava tikabel utehi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We're going to turn to page 58. I'm going to read the first paragraph in Hebrew, and then we will read the rest of it in English in the middle of the page. Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen yishenu atahu ledor vador. נודה לך נספר את תהילתך על חיינו המסורים בידיך ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו וכל נפלותיך וטובתך שבכל עת ערב ובבוקר ובצהריים. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך ורחמכם כי לא תמו חסדיך מעולם קיווינו לך. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and our God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. At the bottom, Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el hodot. On page 59, no, we'll skip that. We've already done that prayer. We will sing Shalom Rav on page 60 at the top of the page. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Dasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam, ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael Bechol eit uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. We're going to go to page 250. Pardon? Oh, I missed it. Thank you. We will read together in that page. In the book of life, blessing, peace, and prosperity, may we be remembered and inscribed by you, we and all your people Israel, for a good life and for peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who makes peace. Baruch atah Adonai, oseh hashalom. Now, we're going to turn to page 253. And we're going to do the Mishaberach for those of us that we wish them to return to health. On our Mishaberach list, Lev Dickerman, Teresa Todd, Jim Todd, Rivka Bat-Fremeet, Leela Wilson, Paul Tackett, Eric Gershkovich, Al Unger, Beth Haberman, Sherry Hayes, Fran Skall, Michael Fassler, Wes Gersh, Sharon Rand, Robin Unger, Will Duvall, Deidre Bradley, Ken Kroll, Alvin Casson, Carlson Peters, Raul Hernandez, Bernard Hyman, those who are piecing their lives back together, the survivors of the earthquake in Morocco and flooding in Morocco. And if there's anyone you would like to add. Middle of page 253. Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. The remarks for the Devar Torah tonight are going to be somewhat brief. One reason is because I left my pad at home. My memory isn't what it used to be. But the parsha is Ha'azinu. It's towards the end of Deuteronomy. Now, Ha'azinu, what does it mean? We will listen, or we are listening. Moses, this was the last day of his life on this earth. And before he was to go up on Mount Nebo, Har Nebo, to look at the promised land before he passed, as you remember, he was not allowed to pass into the promised land. This is basically what he was talking. He was talking to the entire to the entire 12 tribes, the whole nation, or the beginning of the nation of Israel. He was talking about similar things that go on with that we read about in the Vahavta. Basically, he said, you have, since you left Egypt, God delivered you from slavery. God gave you manna. God gave you a code to live by in the 10 Commandments. God has provided for you and brought you to the land of your inheritance. And you've grown rather accustomed to this. If you continue to follow God's commandments, to be humble, to walk in the ways of the Lord, not to forsake what you have been taught, you will be prosperous in the land. If you do not, you will lose everything and you will be dispersed from the land. Now, the word ha'azinu, which means to listen. When he basically made that speech, the first thing he said was, in essence, I'm declaring before the heavens and then to the earth. Generations later, Isaiah would take the reverse tack, I declare to the earth and then to the heavens. That little statement is what I'm going to focus on for the next minute or so. When I was looking for some commentary, what is the importance of I declare before the heavens before I declare before the earth? I found an interesting commentary at the Chabad website, and I liked it. In other words, I gave Rabbi Sachs a rest. Basically, the reason he declared, I declare before the heavens, because he felt that the children of Israel were closer to God, to the heavens, than to the earth and its mundane laws, its mundane existence. What is the lesson here? That we should strive to be closer to God in everything that we do. Now, I've shortened this down because I could read this and take 15 minutes, but I think it's just important to get to the gist of it, because that one statement that he declared before the heavens was an admonishment to the children of Israel to walk in the path of the Lord, to do right, to be good people, to obey God's commandments, and that would keep them close to God. When they forsake his commandments and forsake God, they will be dispersed. According to the rabbis that I read, hence the diaspora. I'm now going to go to the announcements. Shabbat services begin tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Kol Nidre will start Sunday, September 24th at 7:30 p.m. Yom Kippur or Yom Kippur as I prefer to say it, will start on Monday, September 25th at 10 a.m. The family service will be at 1 p.m. You'll have classical music with Sean Dawson at 3:15. The meditation service will be done with traditional African instruments, the gil and the midra, and I hope I pronounced them correctly. Ms. Angela Scharfenberger will be leading our meditation session using West African instruments. She studied music in Ghana and also has a PhD in anthropology. She is aware of the spiritual and meditative music she has chosen for Yom Kippur, and please come and let the performance guide your meditation or just listen to beautiful music being made. Yizkor and Ne'ilah, which follows Yizkor immediately, are at 4:45. The reminder is to RSVP for decorating and schmoozing in the Sukkah, and we celebrate that on next Friday, September 29th. The decorating begins at 4, and a bridged service will be done at 6. Cookout by the men's club, plus hopefully a campfire and s'mores. Sing along with Benji Burlow, and there are flyers in the lobby. On Sunday, October 22nd, there's a murder mystery dinner theater, and the doors will open at 5:30, and again, we have flyers in the lobby. We will turn to page 282. And those who are able, please stand in the middle of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo v'gavhei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes zulato, kakatuv b'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, v'shamayim mima'al, v'al haaretz mitachat ein od, 287. We're going to turn to page This is a reading that I've not heard done here, so we're going to do it on page 290. In the middle of the page, we're going to read responsively. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch.
A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, O hope, to believe.
A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. Tonight, we remember the following people. You may stand, if you so desire, beforehand as the name is read. Bess Collar, mother of Mickey Barron. Laverne Charna, mother of Andrea Coven. David Flarsheim, cousin of Carol Safkovich. Morris Gertzman, father of Nancy Goodman. Ava Kaplan, grandmother of Carrie Kaplan. Sylvia Korenstein, grandmother of Barry Korenstein. Deborah Kratzok, mother of Francis Kratzok. Mark Paul Levine, brother of Ellen Goldwyn. Irvin L. Marcus, great uncle of Ruth Honigberg. Milton J. Morgulin, husband of Carly Morgulin. Sheldon Weinstein, father of Sandra Flaxman. Babette Zimmerman, mother-in-law of Dory Zimmerman. We have also people with plaques and no observers. Michael Bartz, Ida Kahn Frank, Emma Helft, Frida Isler, Zelda Lipschutz. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We turn to page 294 and rise for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad v'yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam leolmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Shabbat shalom.